So now that you have all of the basics out of the way, at least a good portion of them, hopefully you're a little more familiar with Gatsby if you've been following along so far. And we're going to get this Bad Mama Jamstack site hosted. And we're going to do Netlify to do that. It's a fantastic platform. It's what all the cool kids are doing nowadays. And it does take a particular type of site or project to be able to host it there, but Gatsby is a very natural fit. You'll find most people probably using Netlify for it, but you can use other sources too. So I think a lot of courses might wait till the end to get the site hosted in my experience, but I like to do it early. I'm more of a fan of the MVP, minimum viable product, that is. Just get it up and then iterate over it and keep pushing it. And then I think it's cool that you get to have a site just live already and then just to, keep updating it as you go. So let's jump into that. So here we are at netlify.com. It's a constantly changing project. I've got this very fun little animation when you reload the page, as you can see. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and sign up to start. So I'm going to use GitHub for this, but you can use your version control of choice. So I already have this project hosted. So I'll just log in here, create my account real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are on the screen after the login. And it's asking to be able to access our account here. So I'll do authorize Netlify here, and this is really nice. It'll just redirect us right here. Talks about continuous deployment a little bit, which is really cool. Is whenever you push to Git, it will automatically deploy your site, and you're going to see that in a moment. It's very, very cool. Free automatic HTTPS. Yeah, they use Let's Encrypt. Very cool as well. And finally, never have to leave the terminal. I don't know what this is about. Okay, cool, I guess. So we're going to do a new site from Git and create a new site. Can use deployment. So right here we say which one we want to use, and you can see that it gives you this nice little prompt. We have an app installed that Netlify just installed into our GitHub account if you authorized it, and it's saying what access you want to give it to. So you can actually go and set up your the plugin that's been installed to only look at particular sites, but I'm not worried about that right now, so I'll just authorize this. See what happens here. Oh, okay, so it is going to ask me that. So yeah, I'll just do all, but you can do select. Well, I'll just show you that. Let's just do that. So here's this one, Gatsby from scratch. So we'll just pick that one for now, and read access to emails. Netlify can also request permissions to the following resources. Well, I'm going to trust them on this one, so let's just go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh. It should have popped up with something right away. Maybe I have to just click it again. Huh, that's funny. Okay, so here it is. We've got this one repo. We're going to pick it. This is just like a team setting. I'm going to leave it as it is. That's me, Jimmy Cleveland. And we want to go off of master. And if you remember, we'll come back over here. We made this build script, Gatsby build, and that's what we're going to use to deploy. And it's really cool. They've already detected that for us, that it's a Gatsby site, and they're just going to suggest that this is the command to run. And then the publish directory is public. And so what that is when you do run Gatsby build, it generates out this public folder, which we'll get into a little bit more, I think, in the next video. But we have that Git ignored. You don't want to push that up because it's just going to add to your Git size for people that are cloning it down unnecessarily, because you just have to build to use the site anyways. Just a little side note there. Well, that's all I really care about right now. So we'll just do deploy site. And now you can see the site deploy is in progress. So if you take a look at this, you can click this here and see that this production build is building. And you can go to the logs, which is really cool. It'll just show you all the general setup that's going on. But for a moment, I'm going to come back here and notice that it actually, if we go to overview for the site, it has this kind of identifier that it's created. And what's cool about this is when it's done, we're actually going to have a real URL to hit that we can give to anyone and that we can run tests against. And that's pretty sweet, I think. And then if you want your own custom domain, they'll prompt you to set one up after that. So that's up to you. I use this quite often without ever setting up a custom domain, but I do have a few sites running on this with my own domain. It's a very nice system. It's really is the next wave of web development, like enhancements to the entire process. Oh, well, there you are. So, okay, site's deployed. You can see we have this URL now. If I click this, it's going to open it up, and there's our home page. Well, it was just that easy. So if I were to type in, some gibberish like normal, we're going to get this page not found. It looks like you followed a broken link or entered a URL that doesn't exist yet. Okay, so I think this gives us a good moment to kind of show how this whole thing works. So if I come over to github.com, I should be logged into this account and go over to the repo itself. And what I want to show here is really cool. So if we were to go and create a 404 page, so if you remember when we're creating pages in Gatsby, it's going to use the pages folder to just create it manually with some markup, or in this case JSX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own custom 404 JS file, and I'll use my same snippet for that, and we'll just call this missing. It could leave it 404, I guess. It's kind of weird to me to start with a number. And what we'll do is we'll render out a page here that has an H1 and says, I created this 404 page. It is not. I don't know, what is it not? A robot speaking. Okay. And that's all we'll do for that, just so that you can see it. And let's actually go and run that in our terminal first. So let's run yarn serve here. And what that will do is give us kind of the equivalent of what Netlify is showing for our site, just so that we can see it running ourselves. So we'll take this and go to our browser, and then we still can't type in some gibberish here to get the previous 404 page where it shows us all the different pages, but when it's actually in production, it only shows this one. It's not going to list all of our pages. That's the way that Gatsby works. So in development, it'll show that list, but in production, or serve in this case, it'll just show the custom 404 page. So this is where it gets pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to VS Code, and I'm going to add this file, and I'll just say add 404 page. But what I'll do first is I'll create a new branch that's like add 404. And so now we're on a new branch, and when I commit this, so git push swc, and then we want to do this different branch. Okay, that's just my different remote. You'll probably have origin in your case. Don't worry about that. So now on the repo, as it's pushed up, you can see 404 has a recent push. We will do compare and do pull request. And I'm just going to create it right away. And then you'll see here that this branch ran the base with no conflicts, and then some continuous integration is going to kick up here. And it's the Netlify plugin that's just automatically set all this up for us. And what's really cool is when this is done, it's going to have a deploy preview where it's going to take the URL that we already had, which doesn't have a 404 currently, it's the Netlify one, and it's going to make a branch version of it and host it on a different server, different pointer, and we will be able to see our changes before we merge it into the master. So imagine that this was, Jimmy Cleveland's blog.com or something like that, and I'm making a change, but I kind of want to see it live and maybe do some performance tests or something like that for it. I can actually have Netlify create a custom one for me so you can see it's done. Let's just click that here and you'll see. Okay, so see how the URL is a little bit different here. It says deploy preview -- at the beginning of it. And then if we go to this gibberish URL, look, our 404 page is there. So we can see that before we make the change. So I'll reload the original one, and this is still the same. This is amazing to have this level of continuous integration, like out of the box, just with a couple of quick clicks. I can't speak right now. I'm just so excited. Yeah, it's awesome. It's some new wave stuff. So now all I do is I just confirm the merge, and there you go. So as soon, what Netlify is going to do is as soon as it sees that the master branch has a new commit pushed up, it's going to start build. So if we go to deploys, you'll see production building right now. And we can go and check the logs just in case we got an error or something like that. Or we're just curious, trying to log something out, whatever. It's really cool that they just give you this functionality easily at your fingertips. So I'll wait for this to build just so you can see. See, there's our logs that we had locally. So you can see they're just running our local stuff. Same exact code. And there you go. They've kind of injected this cool like Netlify build complete from the app. There it is. And the site is live. So now, if you come up here, you can click this preview, which is going to be the exact same URL here. And there we go. And our change, if we go to gibberish, should be there. Now we have a 404 page that easily. So that is Netlify and Gatsby working together to just make this such a seamless process. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how Gatsby kind of works as far as static site generation goes, and why Netlify is a good fit for it, and the differences between a Gatsby site versus a standard single page app that's just running client side.